Am I the astronaut for telling my boyfriend I don't want him to be the birth partner for his pregnant female friend? I, 23 female, have been with my boyfriend, 25 male, for about a year and a half. We live together and things have been pretty good. He's loyal and protective of the people he cares about, especially family. That's part of why this situation feels so complicated. He has a close female friend, 25 female, whom he's known for years. They've never dated, but she used to be involved with his younger brother. Their friendship predates her going out with his brother. Now she's also friends with the brother she used to date, but nowhere near as close as she is to my boyfriend. I've never really suspected anything going on between them, but I can admit it took me a little while to get used to dating a guy who had a really close female friend. I've just never experienced that before. They talk all the time, and I'll hear her voice randomly, and he's listening to her audio messages he sends her. She's always having problems with guys and relies on him to coach her through it or pull her off the ledge. He has guy friends too, and she hangs out with that whole group. She's one of those girls, if you know what I mean. She's also good friends with his female cousin, so she's pretty woven into their family circle. She got pregnant by a boyfriend she hadn't been with for too long. At first, he talked a big game and seemed supportive, but when she was around 4 months pregnant, he said he wasn't ready to be a dad and basically vanished. A few weeks ago, she asked my boyfriend to be her birth partner, be in the delivery room, coach her through labor, cut the cord, the whole thing. He said yes without even telling me beforehand. When he told me, I was kind of astounded. Childbirth is super intimate, and it felt wrong that he'd take on that role for another woman. He said I was being insecure and selfish, that she doesn't have anyone else that she trusts. I reminded him that she dated his brother and is also close with his cousin, and she has to have female friends or family, right? Why him? I can't imagine asking a male friend of all people. He said I was being territorial and that I wouldn't understand unless I was in her shoes. I asked if he'd be okay with my doing that for a male friend's childbirth, if that were a thing, and he said that's not fair because it could just never happen. Honestly, this has been messing with me way more than I thought. I keep replaying conversations in my head, wondering if I'm just paranoid, wondering if I misjudged and that everything between them isn't as innocent as I thought. I also don't want to be this nagging, controlling girlfriend. I feel like if he were forced to choose, he would pick her and their friendship over me. It's hard to sleep or relax. I want to support him, but it feels like I'm losing him to her somehow, and that hurts. Now she's cold toward me, and he's upset that I'm not being more supportive. I do feel bad for her. She made the decision to keep the baby with this guy who said he would be there. She couldn't know that he would just up and leave. I told him I'm not forbidding him, but I'm being honest about how uncomfortable this makes me. Well, this one is not, this is not simple. This is not simple at all.
I'd be uncomfortable. I don't feel shameful in saying that at all. If someone asked you to be their birthing partner, I do feel like that is an intimate moment. Like the woman is in a very vulnerable state, and I understand that she needs someone that she can trust, but I don't think that person should be someone that has another partner, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think, regardless of the comfort level with, I don't think anybody can be wrong for not being comfortable with that. Mm-hmm. My big problem with this is that when she tried to explain how she felt, all he could do was dismiss her feelings.
Right.
And say, you're being territorial, you're overreacting, he just minimized her feelings and dismissed them rather than trying to make her more comfortable with the situation. He could have been like, I get it, and I see where you're coming from, and I see where that could be really uncomfortable for you. How can let's try to make you more comfortable with that situation.
Right.
Like, why don't you become part of this process as well? I don't think forcing him to choose is going to go in your favor here, because I think you're right. He would choose her. I think he kind of already did.
In that moment, I guess that specifically is what I wanted to talk about. She said, I feel like if he were forced to choose, he'd pick her.
Yeah.
And the friendship over me. I mean, in a relationship, I feel like you're working to be the person that he would pick over his friends, like you're working to build your own family if it looks like it's going to be a relationship that's long-term, that's going to lead to a marriage-like path. And for her to say, I know he'd pick her. I mean, what more does she need to know?
Yeah.
Like that would be my cue to leave, to know that.
This seems like an unfair comparison though, because they're just dating at this point. Like they're just boyfriend, girlfriend. How long have they been together? Let's look. They've been together for a year and a half. They live together. That's the main complication here. But they've been together for a year and a half, and he's been friends with his female friend for a long time. and she's integrated with family and his friend group and all the things. So that's an unfair comparison.
But I think there's like when would it be an okay comparison? When does it have to be a certain time frame in a relationship where you don't become the birthing partner for your female best friend? Because I feel like if you're in an intimate relationship with someone where you're living together, sleeping together, committing to a life together, you should not be the birthing partner for a female best friend.
I feel like these are two separate things, right? There is the, if I forced him to choose, he would choose her. That's one situation. Mm-hmm. And then the whole birthing partner thing is a different situation in my mind here. The birthing partner thing either should have been something that if he valued his relationship with OP, he communicated with OP about ahead of time. He should have foreseen that it was something that could potentially cause some great discomfort and have a conversation ahead of time to be like, hey, this is what she asked me to do. I feel compelled to do it, but also I respect our relationship and your feelings. And I feel like this is something that could cause some trouble here. So tell me how that would make you feel and go through it then. That would have been the smart way to play it, right? But then the other side of this is the whole, if I forced him to choose, he would choose her. I don't know. I feel like personally, somebody who's in a dating phase of a relationship with somebody, if you're asking the questions about forcing them to choose between a friend and you weren't made for each other anyway.
Yeah, but she is asking him to choose between a friend and her. She's asking him not to choose her. She's asking him to respect her feelings and not do this for another woman. And so she is asking him to choose, and he is choosing. So he is making that choice.
Yeah, no,
I think the problems are, in my mind, a little bit intertwined. And I think he's telling her everything she needs to hear. Because my question is, when does he stop choosing the best friend?
He doesn't.
So when they're married, is that when he gets to stop? He gets to choose his wife?
Well, that's when he should.
That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah. And I agree that they are intertwined. I still think that they're separate issues, but yeah, I agree that they're intertwined. And the fact that it's a topic at all, and that there's a topic of having to choose, means that this was not meant to be.
I think that if a year and a half into a relationship, he's choosing to be a birthing partner for his friend, I don't need any more than that. That's enough for me to be like, hey, this is not what I want out of life. This isn't what I see myself. Like whenever I would like for the first time you experience childbirth to be, between your partner and you. And that's how I'm looking at it. That's what I want. That's what I would want if I was young. And that's what I was looking for in my future. And I don't think that she's going to get that kind of like wrapped around, cherished feeling of love from this man.
I agree.
I think he's also always going to be split because of what this woman wants from him.
I don't think it's going to be split. I think he's always going to be at the friend's beck and call.
100%.